LEGO has been dropping some absolutely insane sets for decades now, and today we're ranking the most legendary builds that changed the game, broke records, and made collectors spend their entire paychecks without even thinking twice about it. The Millennium Falcon Ultimate Collector Series. Let's start with the absolute unit that is the 2007 Ultimate Collector Series Millennium Falcon. This thing had 5,195 pieces and was the largest LEGO set ever made at the time. When it dropped, people were camping outside stores like it was a new iPhone release. The price tag was $500, which sounds insane until you realize that sealed versions now sell for over $5,000 on the secondary market. What made this set legendary wasn't just the piece count though, it was the attention to detail that LEGO put into every single section of Han Solo's ship. The interior was fully built out with the hollow chest table, the smuggling compartments, and even the training remote that Luke used. LEGO knew exactly who they were targeting with this set. The adult fans with disposable income who grew up watching Star Wars on VHS. The building experience took most people between 15 to 20 hours, and that's if you didn't stop to admire what you just built every 5 minutes. LEGO eventually re-released an even bigger version in 2017 with 7,441 pieces, but collectors still argue that the 2007 version has more nostalgic value. The funny thing is that LEGO initially wasn't sure if anyone would actually buy a $500 LEGO set. They were testing the waters to see if adult collectors were a real market. Turns out they absolutely were. The Taj Mahal in 2008. LEGO released the Taj Mahal with 5,922 pieces, and it held the record for the largest LEGO set for almost a decade. This wasn't a licensed set based on a movie or TV show. It was pure architecture, and it proved that LEGO fans didn't just want to build spaceships and castles. The set was part of the Creator Expert line, which was LEGO's way of saying this is for adults who actually want a challenge. Building the Taj Mahal was like putting together a 3D puzzle where every piece mattered. The dome alone required hundreds of pieces to get the curved shape just right, and LEGO used techniques that weren't common in their other sets at the time. The color palette was limited to white, tan, and a few accent colors, which meant builders had to really focus on the shapes and structures rather than relying on bright colors to make things look interesting. When LEGO discontinued it in 2010, the price on the secondary market went absolutely bonkers. Sealed sets were selling for over $2,000, and even used sets in good condition were going for well over $1,000. LEGO saw how much people wanted it and re-released it in 2017, which was a smart move because it gave new collectors a chance to own it without taking out a second mortgage. The building experience is meditative in a weird way because you're placing the same types of pieces over and over, but seeing the structure slowly come together is incredibly satisfying. The Death Star. The 2008 Death Star is one of those sets that every Star Wars fan wanted, but not everyone could afford. With 3,803 pieces and a price tag of $400, it was a serious investment. But what made this set special was how LEGO designed it. Instead of making it a solid sphere that you could never see inside, they made it like a cross-section dollhouse where you could see all the iconic rooms from the movies. You got the trash compactor where Luke and Leia almost got crushed, the Emperor's throne room where Vader threw Palpatine down the shaft, the tractor beam control room, and even the conference room where Vader force-choked that admiral who lacked faith. The set came with 24 minifigures, which was unprecedented at the time. You got Luke, Leia, Han, Chewbacca, Obi-Wan, Darth Vader, the Emperor, stormtroopers, and a bunch of other characters. The play value was off the charts because you could recreate almost every Death Star scene from A New Hope and Return of the Jedi. LEGO discontinued it in 2016, and just like the other sets on this list, the price skyrocketed. They released a new version in 2016 with updated minifigures and a slightly different design, but many fans still prefer the original because of the nostalgia factor. The funny part is that building the Death Star feels like building multiple small sets at once, because each room is its own little project, and then you realize they all connect into this massive space station of doom. The Tower Bridge. LEGO's 2010 Tower Bridge was a masterclass in engineering and design. With 4,287 pieces, it wasn't just a model of London's most famous bridge, it was a functioning drawbridge that actually opened and closed. Lego used a crank mechanism that lifted the bridge sections, and watching it work after spending hours building it was genuinely satisfying. The set used a ton of dark blue and tan pieces to match the real bridge's color scheme, and the level of detail was insane. They included the Victorian towers, the walkways, the suspension cables, and even little cars and buildings to put around it. This was another creator expert set aimed at adults, and it showed that Lego was getting really good at making sets that were both display pieces and functional models. The tower bridge was expensive at $240, but compared to some of the other sets on this list, it was almost reasonable. What made this set challenging was the repetition. You had to build 2 towers that were mirror images of each other, and if you messed up on one, you had to figure out where you went wrong by comparing it to the other side. The bridge stayed in production until 2012, and now sealed sets go for around $1,500 to $2,000. Lego hasn't re-released it, which makes it even more desirable for collectors who want a complete creator expert architecture collection. The Disney Castle. When Lego dropped the Disney Castle in 2016 with 4,080 pieces, Disney fans lost their minds. This wasn't based on any specific castle from the movies. It was an amalgamation of all the iconic Disney castles, with design elements from Cinderella's castle, Sleeping Beauty's castle, and others. The set stood over 2 feet tall when completed, and it came with 5 minifigures including Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Daisy, and Tinkerbell. What made this set magical, pun intended, was the interior details. Lego included rooms with references to classic Disney movies. There was a rotating dance floor from Beauty and the Beast, a room with a spinning wheel from Sleeping Beauty, and even a fireworks display piece that you could attach to the back. The color scheme used a lot of bright blue, pink, and gold pieces, which made the castle look like something straight out of a fairy tale. Building it took forever because there were so many small detail pieces, but that's what made it worth it. Each section revealed a new Easter egg or reference to a Disney movie. The set retailed for $350, which was steep, but Disney collectors and Lego fans alike didn't care. It sold out constantly and Lego had trouble keeping it in stock. The castle was eventually retired in 2021, and now sealed sets are selling for around $600 to $800, which honestly isn't as bad as some other retired sets. Lego tends to do really well with their Disney partnerships, and this castle proved that licensed sets based on nostalgia are basically printing money. The Ghostbusters Firehouse in 2016. Lego released the Ghostbusters Firehouse headquarters as part of their Lego Ideas line, and it was everything fans of the movie wanted. With 4,634 pieces, this set was a detailed recreation of the iconic firehouse from the 1984 film. It came with all 4 Ghostbusters as minifigures, the Ecto, 1 car, and even a ghost figure. The building was 3 stories tall and included the fire pole, the containment unit in the basement, the office area, the lab equipment, and the sleeping quarters. What made this set special was that it started as a fan submission on Lego Ideas, which meant it was designed by someone who truly loved Ghostbusters and knew exactly what details needed to be included. Lego cleaned up the design and added their own touches, but the heart of the set came from the fan community. The exterior had incredible details, like the red brick pattern, the garage doors, the Ghostbusters sign, and even the windows with the right proportions. Building it felt like constructing a real building because of how Lego structured the floors and the way everything stacked. The set cost $350, and it was worth every penny for Ghostbusters fans who had been waiting decades for an official Lego set. When it was discontinued in 2017, the aftermarket prices went up to around $500 to $700, and sealed sets in perfect condition can go even higher. The Ghostbusters Firehouse proved that Lego Ideas was a legitimate way for fan-favorite properties to get official sets, and it paved the way for other nostalgia-driven sets to get made.